Have you ever stopped to wonder what's weighing you down in life, like unnecessary baggage burdening your steps and secretly sabotaging your happiness and fulfillment? Today, we want to invite you to shed that weight and embark on a journey of freedom and wholeness. The purpose of our journey today is to invite you to let go of that burden and start an exploration that will bring significant transformations. So, my friends, are you ready to embark on this journey and discover the 11 things you should silently eliminate from your life to make room for growth and fulfillment? As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. This is the moment to change reality, to leave behind what no longer serves and move towards a lighter and more meaningful life. It's time to change this reality. I invite you to share your insights and experiences, contributing to the collective wisdom we are building together. So, stay with us until the end of the video to discover new insights. Therefore, I ask that you stay with us until the end of this video, as together we will explore how we can make this positive change in our lives. Your journey of self-awareness begins now. Lesson 1: Excess negativity. Imagine your life as a journey through vast landscapes, where each experience shapes your path. In the midst of this adventure, we encounter challenging moments and people who seem to cast shadows over our sunny days. But here is a wise Stoic advice: do not let the negativity of these people obscure your journey. In one of these moments, I met Laura, a colleague whose gloomy demeanor seemed to drain the energy from everyone around her. Her constant criticism and biting remarks were like stones on the path, hindering the passage of anyone who approached. Faced with this, I found myself tempted to justify my actions, to try to convince her to see things differently. But following the wisdom of Seneca, I realized that I didn't need to wear myself out in vain. Instead, I chose to maintain my inner peace, standing firm in the face of the storms she brought with her. A wisdom is keeping the mind serene amid difficulties, said Epictetus, and these words echoed in my mind as I navigated the turbulent sea of negative interactions. I chose to move forward, keeping my focus on the calm waters beyond the storm, knowing that my serenity was my greatest strength. Just as Seneca reminds us, it's not what you endure, but how you endure it. When we face the gales of negativity, it's the inner calm that guides us beyond the choppy waves. By cultivating this calm, we not only shield ourselves from the impact of negativity but also create a space where positivity can flourish. Therefore, when encountering people whose presence seems to be a dark cloud on your journey, remember the Stoic lesson: don't waste your time and energy on vain attempts to change them. Instead, quietly navigate towards clearer waters, where the sunlight shines more brightly. Lesson 2: don't waste time on what hurts you. Imagine yourself in a vast garden of life, where each encounter is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your experiences. However, not all seeds sprout into fragrant flowers, some turn into thorns that pierce our hearts. In this garden, I met Sophia, a longtime friend whose harsh words and cruel actions were like thorns in a bouquet of roses. Every interaction with her left a wound, and I found myself tempted to spend time and energy trying to justify my emotions and confront her attitudes. But here is a precious lesson taught by the Stoics: don't waste time on what hurts you. Just as Seneca reminds us, he suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary. Instead of letting myself be consumed by the weight of negative interactions, I chose to move forward, prioritizing my inner peace and emotional health. Years later, I met a special person who is still with me today. Here, I learned a harsh lesson: my friends, you only have what you accept to have. I imagine you've also encountered someone like Sophia in your own garden of life. Perhaps it was a demanding coworker, a critical family member, or even a jealous friend. In all these cases, the lesson is the same: don't allow these people to steal your energy and your joy of living. Instead, cultivate an internal garden of peace and self-esteem, where the flowers of positivity can freely bloom. Remember that your happiness does not depend on the behavior of others, but rather on how you choose to respond to it. So, when you encounter thorns on your path, don't feed them with your attention. Instead, focus on watering the flowers that bring joy and meaning to your life. Lesson 3: combating chronic procrastination. Imagine yourself in a quiet office, with the soft sunlight filtering through the partially open curtains. Your desk is piled with tasks waiting to be completed, but you find yourself paralyzed by chronic procrastination. Every time you look at the stack of work, a sense of anxiety takes hold of you, and you find yourself postponing the tasks once again. Chronic procrastination can be like a spider's web woven around your mind, trapping you in an endless cycle of postponement and avoidance. Epictetus reminds us, it is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all. In this sense, chronic procrastination is a way of avoiding the discomfort of failure, but in doing so, we miss the opportunity to grow and evolve. Perhaps you find yourself postponing important projects because you fear failure, or maybe you're simply overwhelmed by the amount of work ahead of you. Whatever the reason, chronic procrastination can become a significant obstacle on your path to success and personal fulfillment. But here's a Stoic truth for you: the only way to overcome procrastination is to face it head-on. As Seneca reminds us, life is too short to waste it in procrastination. Instead of allowing procrastination to dictate the course of your life, take steps to tackle your tasks head-on. Start by breaking down your big goals into smaller, more manageable tasks, setting realistic deadlines for each one. Then, make a commitment to yourself to dedicate time and energy to these tasks every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Remember that every step you take towards your goals is a step in the right direction, even if it seems small or insignificant. As Seneca said, it is part of the journey often to retreat, to advance more firmly. So, don't let chronic procrastination stop you from reaching your full potential. Take control of your life and your goals, facing each challenge with courage and determination. Instead of postponing your hopes and dreams for the future, start building the future you desire for yourself today. Lesson 4: Lack of self-care. Imagine yourself as an old, majestic house with impressive architecture and a rich history. However, over the years, you've neglected your maintenance. The windows are dusty, the walls are peeling, and the foundations are weakened by time. You're so busy with external demands that you've forgotten to take care of the place that matters most, yourself. As the cracks deepen and the structures crumble, you feel increasingly distant from the beauty and vitality that once defined your essence. Lack of self-care is like letting this house slowly collapse, missing the opportunity to restore your inner strength and rediscover the beauty that has always been within you. Lack of self-care can manifest in many ways, from neglecting your physical health to ignoring your emotional and mental needs. When you forget to take care of yourself, you risk becoming overwhelmed, stressed, and unbalanced. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to what happens that matters. In other words, self-care is not just about taking care of your physical needs, but also about cultivating a healthy and resilient mindset in the face of life's challenges. So, how can you cultivate self-care in your daily life? Start by paying attention to your basic needs, such as adequate sleep, healthy eating, and regular exercise. Set aside time for activities that bring you joy and relaxation, such as meditation, reading, or spending time outdoors. Furthermore, do not underestimate the power of taking care of your mental and emotional health. Take regular breaks to recharge your energies, establish healthy boundaries in your relationships, and practice self-compassion in times of difficulty. Remember that self-care is not a luxury, but rather an essential need for a balanced and fulfilling life. As Seneca said, the health of the body is an enviable silence, the health of the mind is an invaluable treasure, modesty an invincible fortress, and the tranquility of the soul is true happiness. Therefore, do not neglect self-care on your journey through life. Cultivate self-care as a priority, allowing you to flourish and grow in your fullness. Remember that by taking care of yourself, you are cultivating the ideal conditions for a happy, healthy, and meaningful life. Lesson 5: Physical disorder. Imagine your life as a house, a place of comfort and security where you can take refuge from the outside world. However, when this house is in disorder, with objects scattered everywhere and a lack of organization, it becomes a space of confusion and stress. Physical disorder can manifest in various ways, from a pile of papers on your desk to a mess of clothes in the closet. When you are surrounded by disorder, your mind becomes overwhelmed and your productivity decreases. Epictetus reminds us, we are disturbed not by things, but by the views we take of them. Therefore, physical disorder is not just an external problem, but it also affects our internal perspective and emotional well-being. So, how can we bring order to the physical chaos in our lives? Start small, choosing one area to focus on at a time. For example, set aside time to clean your work desk or organize your wardrobe. Next, develop the habit of maintaining order regularly, dedicating a few minutes every day to tidy up and clean. By doing so, you will prevent disorder from accumulating and becoming overwhelming. Furthermore, reflect on the value of simplicity and minimalism. Get rid of excess things that are no longer useful or meaningful in your life. Remember that less is more and that a life devoid of excess can bring a sense of lightness and clarity. As you bring order to physical chaos, you are also cultivating a clearer and calmer mind. As Seneca said, inner tranquility is true wealth. By creating an orderly physical environment around you, you are laying the groundwork for a calmer, more balanced, and fulfilling life. Lesson 6: Poor health habits. Imagine your body as a sacred temple, a precious abode that deserves to be cared for and nurtured. However, when we neglect our health, allowing bad habits to take hold, this temple deteriorates, becoming vulnerable to diseases and imbalances. Have you ever noticed the time you spend looking at other people's lives on social media? Not that there is a problem with using social media for leisure, however, it becomes a problem when you neglect your own life in favor of others. Poor health habits can manifest in various ways, from an imbalanced diet to lack of regular physical exercise. When we indulge in these harmful patterns, we compromise not only our physical health but also our mental and emotional well-being. Epictetus teaches us, it is impossible to live a happy and peaceful life without living a reasonable and virtuous life. Therefore, taking care of our health is not just a matter of physical well-being but also an expression of virtue and self-discipline. So, how can we cultivate sustainable health habits in our lives? Start with small changes, such as incorporating nutritious foods into your daily diet and dedicating time to physical activities you enjoy. Additionally, prioritize adequate rest and quality sleep, recognizing the fundamental role they play in renewing and regenerating the body and mind. Abandon harmful vices, such as smoking or excessive alcohol consumption, recognizing that these habits undermine your long-term health. Cultivate a mindset of self-care and self-compassion, remembering that taking care of yourself is not selfishness but rather a fundamental need for living a full and meaningful life. As Seneca said, life, if well managed, is long enough. By adopting sustainable health habits, you are investing in your long-term well-being and strengthening the sacred temple that is your body. Remember that every choice you make regarding your health is an act of self-love and a step towards a vibrant and enriching life. Lesson 7: Lack of communication. Imagine communication as a bridge that connects people, a two-way street where ideas, emotions, and experiences flow freely. However, when there's a lack of communication, that bridge becomes fragile and unstable, unable to sustain healthy and meaningful relationships. The lack of communication can manifest in various ways, from avoiding difficult conversations to not clearly expressing our thoughts and feelings. When we shut ourselves off from authentic communication, we create barriers that prevent us from truly connecting with others and resolving conflicts constructively. Epictetus reminds us, it's not the things themselves that disturb us, but our interpretations of them. Therefore, it's essential to cultivate open and honest communication based on mutual understanding and respect. How can we cultivate authentic and meaningful communication in our lives? Start by practicing active listening, giving full attention to what others are saying and seeking to understand their perspectives before responding. Additionally, learn to express your thoughts and feelings clearly and assertively, avoiding the withholding of emotions that can lead to resentment and misunderstandings. Acknowledge the importance of difficult conversations and confront issues head-on, always maintaining mutual respect and empathy. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By cultivating authentic and meaningful communication, you strengthen your relationships, build trust, and promote greater understanding among people. Remember that each conversation is an opportunity to truly connect with others and enrich your life with meaningful connections. Lesson 8: Toxic relationships. Imagine human relationships as a garden, where each person is a unique flower, contributing to the beauty and diversity of the environment. However, just like in the garden, sometimes we encounter weeds that choke the healthy growth of the flowers around them. These weeds are toxic relationships which drain our energy, undermine our self-esteem, and prevent us from fully blossoming. Toxic relationships can manifest in various ways, from manipulative behavior to lack of emotional support and constant negativity. When we allow these relationships to persist in our lives, we're allowing the weeds to grow and dominate our inner garden. Seneca reminds us, it is the quality of our relationships that defines us, not the quantity. Therefore, it is essential to cultivate healthy and nourishing relationships based on mutual respect, trust, and support. How can we free ourselves from toxic relationships in our lives? Start by identifying harmful patterns of behavior and recognizing the signs of a toxic relationship. Be alert to manipulations, verbal abuse, lack of empathy, and disrespect for your personal boundaries. Then, establish clear and assertive boundaries, communicating your needs and expectations firmly yet respectfully. Remember that you deserve relationships that uplift and support you, not those that drain and harm you. Do not be afraid to distance yourself from toxic relationships, even if it means distancing yourself from people you have known for a long time. As Seneca said, friendship should be a sacred thing or nothing at all. Value your own mental and emotional health, prioritizing relationships that enrich and strengthen you. By freeing yourself from toxic relationships, you make space for new connections that nourish your soul and help you fully blossom as a human being. Always remember that you deserve the best in your interpersonal relationships and should not compromise your happiness and well-being for anything less. Lesson 9: Excessive self-criticism. Imagine yourself as a meticulous painter facing your blank canvas. With a critical and demanding eye, you begin to apply careful brushstrokes, but as the work progresses, your self-criticism intensifies. Every stroke seems imperfect, every color seems out of place. You focus only on the details you deem flawed, forgetting about the nuances and beauty that also exist in your work. Excessive self-criticism is like a distorted filter that clouds your vision, preventing you from truly appreciating your own art. As you get lost in self-criticism, the work remains incomplete and the opportunity to recognize your own greatness is wasted. Excessive self-criticism is like a storm raging through the garden of your mind, flooding it with doubts, fears, and insecurities. This self-criticism not only undermines your confidence but also prevents you from reaching your full potential and enjoying life to the fullest. Epictetus reminds us, it's not the things themselves that disturb us, but our interpretations of them. Therefore, it is essential to cultivate a mindset of self-compassion and kindness towards yourself, rather than ruthlessly criticizing yourself for perceived failures. How can we overcome excessive self-criticism and nurture a more compassionate and positive mindset? Start by practicing self-acceptance and gratitude, acknowledging your qualities and achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Remember that you are human and are constantly growing and learning. Furthermore, challenge negative and distorted thoughts, replacing them with positive and realistic affirmations. For example, instead of saying, "I never do anything right," reframe it to, "I am learning and growing every day, and I am proud of my progress." Cultivate a practice of self-care and self-compassion, setting aside time for yourself every day to relax, recharge, and reconnect with yourself. Be kind to yourself as you would to a dear friend, acknowledging that you are worthy of love and kindness just as you are. By overcoming excessive self-criticism, you transform your mental garden into an oasis of self-acceptance and personal growth. Remember that you are unique and valuable and deserve all the love and respect, both from yourself and from others. Lesson 10 is the fear of failure. Imagine yourself in a boat navigating the seas of life, with the fear of failure as an impending storm on the horizon. This fear can be paralyzing, preventing you from moving forward towards your goals and dreams. The fear of failure is like a dark shadow looming over you, whispering doubts and uncertainties in your mind. It can make you doubt your abilities and hold back from taking risks, fearing to fail and face disapproval from others. However, as Epictetus reminds us, it is not the things themselves that disturb us, but our interpretations of them. Therefore, it is essential to change the way you view failure, perceiving it not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity for learning and growth. Instead of letting the fear of failure paralyze you, use it as a catalyst for action. Recognize that it is normal to fail along the way and that failure does not define who you are. Instead, see each failure as a step on your journey to success. Remember the wise words of Seneca: he suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary. Do not let the fear of failure stop you from living fully and pursuing your dreams. Instead, embrace the unknown with courage and determination, trusting in your ability to overcome challenges and grow with each experience. Cultivate a mindset of resilience and perseverance, remembering that the greatest triumphs often arise from the greatest adversities. Embrace fear as a traveling companion, allowing it to motivate you to reach new heights and achieve your boldest goals. By facing the fear of failure with courage and determination, you transform the storm of fear into a gentle breeze of opportunity and growth. So, release the anchors of fear and allow your boat to sail towards a future filled with success and fulfillment. The ultimate call is to have realistic expectations. It's natural to have expectations for ourselves and others, but when these expectations become unrealistic, they can lead us to disappointment and disillusionment. Unrealistic expectations can create unnecessary pressure and prevent us from appreciating the experiences life offers us. Imagine your expectations as anchors that hold your boat in the reefs of the sea of life. Unrealistic expectations can be like heavy anchors, preventing you from freely sailing towards your goals and dreams. Epictetus reminds us, it is not the things themselves that disturb us, but our interpretations of them. Therefore, it's crucial to examine our expectations and question if they are reasonable and realistic. Instead of allowing unrealistic expectations to dominate your life, adopt a mindset of acceptance and flexibility. Acknowledge that things won't always go as planned and be willing to adjust your expectations according to reality. Remember the wise words of Seneca: the wise man is not he who does not suffer, but he who has learned to endure suffering. By letting go of unrealistic expectations, you release the weight of the anchors that hold you back and allow your boat to sail freely in the waters of life. Instead of rigidly clinging to your expectations, be open to new possibilities and experiences. Cultivate a mindset of gratitude and appreciation for what you have, rather than worrying about what you expect or desire. By letting go of unrealistic expectations, you open up space for joy, peace, and fulfillment in your life. Allow your boat to sail lightly and freely, guided by the gentle breeze of acceptance and adaptability. So, release the anchors of expectations and allow your boat to sail towards a future full of infinite possibilities. Throughout this journey, we've learned the skill of removing the superfluous to make room for our personal development. The words of Seneca resonate, reminding us that the wise man is not he who does not suffer, but he who has learned to endure suffering. Quietly eliminate the burdens obstructing your path and allow personal growth to act as the driving force. Join this channel, which serves as a compass guiding towards greater understanding and wisdom. Share your thoughts, for it is through the exchange of ideas that we strengthen the foundations of our collective development.